My name's Steve Davis. I'm a 6-time world snooker champion. I dominated in the 80s. Most of my time spent competing and practicing in snooker clubs, which some would say led me to have a misspent youth. But I've always had another obsession.
Something that doesn't sit along his boring image was his taste in music. It was radical, outrageous, a bit like his true personality, really.
He's different, Steve. I'd say he's a bit like an eccentric type character. The idea of playing music, playing snooker, playing chess, they kind of allow him to kind of get his medicine or feed his soul.
I'd never even heard of any of his bands, and after listening to some of them, I didn't want to hear from any of these bands.
Snooker can be quite an insulating, tense sort of sport. And I think by doing other stuff, it starts to bring a bit of your personality out.
He's totally immersed in his music. He absolutely loves the fact that he does his local radio show where he gets the freedom to put on what he wants, and he has a cult following by similar maniacs.
This is Phoenix FM.
You're listening to The Interesting Alternative Show with me, Steve Davis. I've been doing The Interesting Alternative Show since 2007, so it's coming up soon-ish for 10 years. And obviously for the first sort of 7 or 8 years, it was totally ignored, not only by everybody on the internet, but also everybody in the local area as well. And then strangely, I think since Carvis has been on board, it's got a bit more popular. Now we're being invited to do DJing outside of the Brentwood and Billericay area. People know me as a snooker player, pretty boring, but this radio show is the Ronnie O'Sullivan of radio shows. It's out there.
Pretty good, pretty good, pretty good.
It's lovely, that was beautiful.
Oh,
Pretty good.
Beautiful.
the 2 guys from Block, the Electronic Music Festival, contacted us and said, would you like to come down and DJ? And it was just sort of so strange of a request. I sort of jumped at the chance. I thought it'd be great fun. I'm absolutely crapping myself. I really am, because, you know, I've walked out the Crucible in big matches. I've played in front of thousands of people live, millions of people on television, but that's your job. But this isn't my job so much, and it's something I hope it goes well, and I'm into the unknown, really. And the next track is going to be... What is the next track, Carver? The next track is... We haven't got a clue what the next track is. We just press the button and see which one's in there. We might play some vinyl next, or perhaps a CD. Don't really know.
Came to Block because they have the best electronic lineups.
It's a legendary festival. It's also very small, intimate, and so that brings a really good crowd of people.
I really want to see Nina Kravis and then of course Steve Davis. You know, it's such a contrast to what he does like in normal life.
So happy he's here. I follow snooker, big fan.
My previous job was putting a small ball into a slightly larger hole with a pointed stick.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm thinking, could I change my life and become one of those DJs on the stage with no musical skills whatsoever? Is it possible?
Well, I don't think it's fair for you to say that you have no musical skills, because you
Okay.
obviously have good taste.
I love Platform. It's a great album. It's a great album. Well, any tips? Just, you know, how to you dancing around. I mean, I'm not really a natural dance. I mean, what should I do to try and get the crowd up?
You know, I think the crowd can kind of sense how you're feeling, and no, but a crowd, I mean, you know, some people can just turn it on and whatever, and they don't really have to be into it. People want to see someone enjoying themselves and, emoting and communicating with them. So just be present. That's what people want.
The only trouble is you don't know my history as a snooker player. I was and still am the most boring historical snooker player on the circuit. I have no facial expressions whatsoever.
Well,
How could a leopard change their spot so quickly?
I mean, you did get Bum of the Year in 1985.
No, you're right. Yes, you are right. So should I just turn my back to the crowd and show my best asset? I just want to qualify. It was called Rear of the Year, not Bum of the Year. I mean,
True, that could go the wrong way.
Holly told me to be myself and to enjoy it and to dance around a bit.
Really?
And I can't do that. I had a dream. It was like half a nightmare that actually I only brought 6 records with me and I'd messed up.
Classic anxiety dream.
I know.
There's a force field on the front lawn. There's a maniac in the back, a cloudburst in the living room. A cloudburst in the living room.
Genuinely, that is the best music I've heard all weekend.
It is a bit mind-blowing because it's really unexpected what he's playing, because he's actually playing quite interesting stuff.
Steve's got a big future, like, he's got a name, he's got the draw, like, I reckon he can see him at Glastonbury smashing it up easily.
This is an amazing set, and then you catch a glimpse of Steve Davis and you're like, weird, but great.
How I know I thought it was just great, it was the fact that I lost myself in it. I've started off, you got all the people looking at you, and I was quite self-conscious. But then by the end, the music took over, and I'd forgotten. I just enjoyed it. And I don't lose myself in a dancing way, ever, right? And I did, so it must have been brilliant. I think what we do now, we sit back, we let the dust settle, and we just wait for the phone to ring.
Really?
Yeah. You know, and I think the offers will flood in. I mean...
Is this what we do now? Is this our thing?
Yeah, we might need an agent.
This metamorphosis, this change in Davis is something that I have a great deal of difficulty in coming to terms with. I spent years creating the ultimate robot, and now I'm finding the most unlikely disc jockey in the world. It's a frightening prospect for music lovers in this land.